Welcome to today's webcast. There are a few instructions we'd like to cover before we begin the presentation. The audio will stream through your computer speakers. Be sure your speaker volume is turned to an audible level. There are multiple widgets at the bottom of your console screen. If you have any questions during the webcast, please click the Q&A widget to submit a question, and a member of the SPS Commerce team will make sure an answer is provided. Later today, you will receive an email with next steps and a link to the microsite that was created for this Reinhart Food Service initiative. The microsite contains a link to the archived webcast, SPS Commerce product information, a timeline for this initiative, EDI specifications, and additional resource material. If you have any technical difficulty during this webcast, please click on the question mark widget at the bottom of your screen to review troubleshooting steps. Today's webcast is entitled Reinhart Food Service and SPS Commerce's Electronic Fulfillment Initiative. During this presentation, we will discuss Reinhart Food Service's new EDI requirements, what these changes mean for you, their new partnership with SPS Commerce, the services SPS Commerce provides in order to comply with Reinhart Food Service's business requirements, and a timeline for this initiative. I would like to introduce your first speaker for today's presentation, Mike Locascio, the Chief Financial Officer at Reinhart Food Service. Mike?
Good afternoon, and welcome to the Reinhart Food Service and SPS Commerce Electronic Order Fulfillment webcast. Today, we will focus on how together we can create growth and efficiencies. I do want to personally thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us for this important presentation. My name is Mike Locascio, and I'm the Chief Financial Officer at Reinhart Food Service. We are holding this webcast to inform you of some changes we are making and provide you with an update on some areas that we'll be working on with our suppliers, including why we need to make this change now, the scope of what we are asking you to do, the partnership and role of SPS Commerce, and finally, next steps for your organization. I wanted to start out with the fact that our business continues to grow and we are very optimistic about our future. We greatly appreciate our partnership with you and look forward to continuing to work with you to grow our business together. So let's dive into why we are here today. After reviewing our current processes, we discovered areas to improve our business, which will prepare our partnership for long-term success. Reinhart Food Service exchanges EDI transactions such as purchase orders, or POs, and acknowledgments with many of our suppliers today. However, we are looking to automate the entire PO to invoice process with all suppliers moving forward, in addition to improving the accuracy of the invoices we receive today. Today, our current method for exchanging order-related information is inefficient and in many cases manual. Many times we are not aware of changes to an order prior to shipment arrival. We receive incorrect quantities, the wrong product, and many times the invoice price does not match what was on the original purchase order, ultimately increasing our time spent reconciling purchase orders and payments with our suppliers. These are areas of opportunities for us not only to improve our processes, but also improve our communications and efficiencies with you. Therefore, we are embarking on an initiative to enable an electronic exchange of order fulfillment transactions with all of our suppliers. In addition, we need to provide our organization and suppliers with complete purchase order acknowledgments and invoice visibility by reliable solutions, which is becoming ever more vital to us to be successful and competitive. In order to automate this process and prepare for continued growth, we are now outsourcing our EDI solutions to SPS Commerce, the largest provider of cloud-based retail supply chain solutions. Reinhart Food Service views SPS Commerce as a reliable partner and can scale with our growth and solve our business needs together. Reinhart Food Service has been working with SPS Commerce for several months in order to complete an overhaul of our EDI specifications. This overhaul will allow us to be more in line with industry standards. What will you need to do to comply with our new and updated EDI requirements? The answer is to work with SPS Commerce. They will provide you with many different service options to meet our new electronic fulfillment EDI requirements and ensure you are EDI certified and capable of meeting our new requirements. Now that I have discussed why Reinhart Food Service is making a change to outsource our electronic order process to SPS Commerce, I'd like to discuss our new fulfillment EDI requirements. As mentioned earlier, we are currently exchanging fulfillment EDI documents with some of our suppliers today. However, we have updated our specifications and added document requirements in order to gain better alignment with industry best practices and allow for greater visibility into order status, order acknowledgments, status of the order within your system, and invoice payment. We are asking all partners to fulfill orders to our distribution center and our customers. First, let's start with the purchase order. Reinhart Food Service will send you an electronic purchase order, also known as EDI 850. After you receive the purchase order electronically, we ask that you return a purchase order acknowledgment, also known as an EDI 855. The electronic PO acknowledgment confirms you received the order, and it allows you to either accept this order with no changes, accept with changes, or reject the order. This provides our suppliers the ability to correct any errors in the PO, such as product information and price. In addition, the PO acknowledgment will confirm our requested ship and delivery date. We ask that you send the PO acknowledgment within 48 hours of receiving the order. If there are additional changes to the PO prior to shipment, we ask that you send another PO acknowledgment with those updates in order to ensure the PO is updated within our system. We will use this information to set expectations on product availability. Next, Reinhart is requiring partners to receive purchase order changes, also known as the EDI 860. We will send an updated order if the order has been canceled or there is a change in dates, item additions, item deletions, price, or quantities. Finally, Reinhart Food Service is asking you to send an electronic invoice for all purchase orders upon receiving your shipment. We will use this invoice to perform a match against the PO. The ability for this to all be tracked electronically allows Reinhart Food Service to pay you within the terms of our invoice without dealing with the common disputes that come up in our process today. Many of you already complete these transactions with other customers. We ask that you become certified on these transactions as they yield benefits for both of us. Before I hand this presentation over to SPS Commerce, I just wanted to quickly summarize what this means for you, our valued partner in this change. Ultimately, trading electronic order fulfillment documents will allow us to streamline the order-to-invoice process. This allows us to easily report on the upcoming shipment and delivery date in order to set expectations with our end customer, and the electronic invoice will provide checks and balances, reducing the amount of invoice disputes, as well as the time from order to cash for Reinhart Food Service suppliers. Now that you have heard about what we are doing and why, I would like to introduce and turn the presentation over to Jim Fromey, the Executive Vice President and Chief Operations Officer at SPS Commerce, to explain again how we will implement these new changes by utilizing SPS Commerce's services together. Again, thank you for your time today, and we truly look forward to the continued growth of our business partnership with you. Jim?
Welcome, everyone. My name is Jim Fromey, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer at SPS Commerce. I oversee global strategy, sales, marketing, and operations, and have been with the company for over 16 years. For the next few minutes, I will cover several topics that further explain the role SPS Commerce will play during this important initiative. First, I'll provide a brief overview of SPS Commerce and who we are. From there, I'll get into the details of the options everybody has available to them in order to meet the requirements of Reinhart Food Service. And then I'll go through the timelines, the project plan, describe the assistance SPS provides everybody during the program, and really just try to lay out for everybody what to expect in the coming weeks. So, slide on who SPS Commerce is. We are a provider of services and applications for what we call the retail and distribution ecosystem. We have more than 65,000 customers, and those customers include vendors, suppliers, brands, manufacturers, brokers, carriers, and other types of logistics companies who use our services to connect with the over 2,300 companies like Reinhart Food Service who are part of our network, and then to automate between those companies the item setup, item data, collaboration around point-of-sale data and inventory, as well as automating orders, shipments, and payments like we're talking about here today. We have a global presence throughout North America, Europe, Australia, and Asia. So now we'll move on to fulfillment requirement. Reinhart Food Service is asking you to electronically send and receive order-to-invoice documents. As Mike mentioned, having an electronic and streamlined process will reduce time reconciling errors, costs, delays, and returns, and both parties will have the ability to have checks and balances to ensure that the PO, acknowledgement, and invoice match. SPS has many options to help your company meet those requirements in a way that can accommodate systems you may already have in place that you use with other trading partners, or potentially getting up and running quickly on something if you don't. But I'll lay those out, and first I'll talk about the SPS Commerce Testing Service, and this is a service that tends to be a great option for companies that maybe already have something in place and they just want to go ahead and use that same system with Reinhart Food Service. The testing service itself is a one-time engagement with SPS Commerce that typically takes 4 to 6 calendar weeks to get through, and it allows you to test and certify an existing EDI system you may already have in place. As part of that one-time engagement, you'll get an assigned SPS Commerce testing consultant who will be there to answer any questions about the business process that is being on the Reinhart side that needs to be met, as well as the technical requirements and specifications that help you, from a mapping perspective, meet those business requirements. The consultants will also give you access to our testing platform that replicates the Reinhart Food Services production environment. Part of that engagement will also then start sending you a test order with your data so that you can then take that test PO, do the work you need to do to get it into your system, and then from there do the subsequent transactions back to Reinhart Food Service and really get you in a testing environment, working properly, with your mapping being done correctly, your connectivity from a communications vehicle to get the data back and forth between you and Reinhart, any system work you need to do to allow that data to post and be extracted from your system, and basically help you get through this process so that when you're done, you understand exactly what the intent of the order is from a business perspective from Reinhart Food Service, and that you've also got a technology system working in place to make that happen. Once you've done that and completed the end-to-end test without any errors, your project will be complete. You'll be considered production ready. We pass that information to the IT organization at Reinhart Food Service, and then they will be coordinating with you the timing to start exchanging that data as a certified EDI supplier going forward. The testing service is a one-time fee of $300 if you only test the ship to DC order management model, and it's $600 if you are a supplier that does both shipping to the distribution center and shipping directly to the customer. In that case, you're actually going to go through 2 separate processes as part of that one-time engagement. Once you've completed that project, there is no other financial commitment to SPS Commerce. You're off and running with the solution you have in place today. If you do not have an existing EDI solution, you can select one of SPS's pre-certified services to meet the Reinhart Food Services electronic requirements as well. In this case, you're actually choosing SPS Commerce to be an EDI service provider for you on an ongoing basis going forward with Reinhart or potentially anybody else that you may want to use that service with. Within the service options, there are a couple options. First is our web fulfillment service that offers you a full EDI capability while operating within your web browser on any device. It operates a lot like email. You get orders into your inbox. You can send return documents. You can print your shipping labels. Although there is some data entry involved with this option, there are a number of productivity tools built in to reduce the data entry that a normal service like this often requires. The product will also help you process purchase orders on time, highlight critical shipping timelines, give you alerts if there's any errors as well. And the web fulfillment service is really a turnkey service that provides you with a full-blown capability for EDI that you can use with, again, Reinhart or any other retailer that's part of our network. The average monthly fee for this service is $99 per month, and your assigned SPS Commerce representative will be able to answer any questions about how this pricing would apply to your company. There is also a more advanced service called the Integrated Fulfillment Service where data is exchanged directly between your system and SPS Commerce. This enables you to implement a solution with no data entry. The monthly and setup costs for the integration service will vary based on order volume as well as the system being integrated. So now I'll move on to some of the details around the project plan. Reinhart Food Service has asked vendors to make a commitment to this project by December 16th. After this webcast concludes, an SPS Commerce representative will be reaching out to you to discuss the initiative. Please work with them to evaluate the program requirements and a solution option that best fits your company. Once you have reviewed the options, please send the formalized agreement and completed paperwork to your SPS Commerce representative by the 16th of December. There are a number of factors that often need to be considered with implementing this type of business change, so utilize that full timeline to make the decision by making sure that you're able to discuss this with all resources that need to weigh in on that decision. Once your company has finalized the commitment, you will be moved into the implementation phase, and that's where you'll be assigned an expert consultant that will either help you through that one-time engagement with testing if you go down that path, or actually help you get set up on one of the SPS Commerce services to meet the requirements of Reinhart going forward. All suppliers are expected to complete that implementation by January 27th. SPS will be working closely with Mike and his team at Reinhart. Throughout the process, we will communicate your status on this project and ensure all parties are working towards the timeline and goals set in place by Reinhart Food Service. Next, I'll show you a quick snapshot of the microsite we've created for this program. Tomorrow, you will receive an email with a link to this site that hosts all of the details for the initiative, such as the EDI specifications themselves, training videos, the product information, the fact sheets on the products and services and options I just talked about. Also, this webcast will be archived on the site for you or more likely other members of your team to view in an on-demand fashion at a later time, if that is something that makes sense for you to do. Please take time to explore this microsite and learn more about this initiative. Now we start to wrap up this presentation. Please share what you've learned today with other internal teams so the full benefits can be realized across your organization. We recognize that each of you will have many questions, And that is one of the reasons Reinhart Food Service is partnered with SPS Commerce to get a dedicated team in place to help all of you through this project in a timely manner and help get the information you need and the questions answered during that time frame as well. In addition to referencing the microsite, at any time, please do not hesitate to contact SPS Commerce directly during the project if you have any questions at any phase of the project. Thank you for your time today. We look forward to working with each of you on this project in the coming weeks, and this concludes the presentation.